What's going on, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NOCO Genius 5 amp battery charger. So this is going to be a smart battery charger, whether you have a smaller equipment that has 6 volts or a little bit larger mower that has a 12 volt, or even your cars. This is going to be a great way to charge all that up. It's just going to take 120 AC power from your house and convert it into DC to charge up all of your batteries. It's always really nice to have something to charge everything up, but when it's this small and compact and it still does the job, which is up to 120 amp hour batteries, this is going to be a great way to get everything charged up, keep it charged up, and not really take up a whole lot of space. It is really small, but it packs quite a punch, so you can still charge up or revive some of the batteries on your bigger machines like a truck, a Tahoe like me. So it's not just for the small ones, it's also for the bigger ones. And it ID'd that we're doing it on 12 volt. And right now I don't really have a whole lot of charge. So this will be the indicator of how much charge you got. Once it gets up here, you're 100% and you're ready to rip. So my battery's actually doing pretty good. So it already went up to the second notch. So the first notch is 25%. And then we're gonna have 50%, which is flickering right now. Then we're gonna have a 75%. And then this is going to be 100%, but also if you're just maintaining your batteries in the colder months, this is going to be on and it's just going to maintain that charge as you go. We are going to have different little things down here. Obviously, when it's not hooked up, we're going to have the power that's going to turn on. And then over here, that's just going to indicate if this turns on right here is if you have it set to 6 volt and you hook it up to a 12 volt, there's just too much juice in the system for it to want to charge. And right here is going to be a possible battery short and it will not hold a charge, so that's not really a good one to see. We do have reverse polarity protection, so this will come on if you swap them on accident, and that's just kind of an idea of what all these mean. But it does have a lot of different modes, and when you click this down and hold down for 3 seconds, it's going to go to 6 volt right there, but we're on a 12 volt battery, so this right here should light up just like that. So that'll just, it knows what it's charging, and if you set it to the wrong one, it'll tell you, which is awesome. But you can also force mode it, which if you have a completely dead battery, you can sit there and hold it down for 5 seconds. And then it's just going to go into force mode, but I don't need that just because I do have a charge. But if you do have a battery you think you can revive, you can do that. I do like the clamps. They're not too big and bulky because a lot of the times, especially with the smaller batteries, it's super hard to have both of them connected up just when they have these big bulky clips. But with these, they have all these little different notches, so you can go on any which way and it's going to make a good connection. And even if you don't have big top posts like this and on the sides, like, it's going to be very, very simple to get it down there. It has a really, really strong spring, so it definitely hooks down quite a bit, so you don't have to worry about holding it on there, it falling off. And then if they do touch, we're not going to get any sparks. It'll just sense that and it'll protect you from that. I've done that before whenever I'm hooking up a battery to battery and go like this, and it goes tss, tss, tss. With this one, it doesn't. But my car doesn't need charging, it's good. But what does need charging is the mower. So this has been sitting down here for a couple days, so it's definitely extremely dead. So let's see how dead. Hopefully we won't have to put it into force mode or force charge. But again, hook these up like this. And like this. And then we'll take this, hold it down for 3 seconds. So this mower is actually a 12 volt and it's just a normal battery, just like that. So I'm gonna put it right there, and yeah, it is dead. So I'm gonna leave this on for a little bit. It's not a huge battery for a 12 volt, but it is gonna take a little bit of time. But while we're waiting, you can kind of look at the whole casing. We do have a very solid casing, and it does have some little rubber pieces on the bottom. So if you do set it right here, it really doesn't want to move, which I like, so you don't have to find a place to put it. And this just being so small is kind of nice. But another thing that does come with the kit is just a little strap. So if you do want to keep it in your garage, right here. So if you wanted to keep it at a certain spot in your garage, you can put this and screw this to the wall, and then this hook and loop will just wrap around it, so you'll have it exactly where you want it. So it'd be really nice to put it at the very back of the garage, because with me, I have my mowers and stuff towards the back, but also my car pulls into there, and that's where all the batteries are. So this is really nice, so it's on the wall and not really, you're not gonna have to worry about tripping over this. And we do have a relatively longer cord, it's about 71 inches. So I don't think you're gonna have to use a extension cord like we are, but if you do have to, it does work with an extension cord. On this end of the charger, we are gonna get 77 inches of cables, but the cool thing about all of the cables is you do have a little fuse in here. It's nice and watertight, that's for sure. So that will just make sure that nothing surges and nothing really pulses a lot of electricity through your rigs, so it doesn't short anything out or break something. That's always awesome. And another really cool thing that I like is right here, we do have a lot of different attachments. So if you wanted something to charge with just the 12-volt circular outlet, if you have that wired on your vehicle, you can just go like this, pull this out, and then you can get different ones of these. You can either get an extension, which is a 10-foot extension, or you can get other different types of ends. So the ones I would do is there's some that are terminal ends, so they kind of look like this. So what I would do is I would actually put those terminal ends on my mower and either feed this end down somewhere to where it's not gonna get hurt by the elements. So whenever I do wanna charge it, I don't have to lift this seat up. All I have to do is just plug it on in. We have a lot of different ends that you can do. And so you can get one for each different thing you plan on charging, or whatever really makes sense for you. Another nice thing about this is if you're at work and you need to mow grass when you get home from work and it was dead when you left for work, if the power blips, so I'm gonna unplug this real quick. If the power goes out and then comes back on, so we have no power there, but if it does come back on real quick, it is gonna be a smart charger, so it will remember where you were at. So it remembers that we were on 12 volt, and then once it starts thinking, it's gonna start charging again. So you don't have to worry about any type of surges and stuff hurting your vehicles, and you don't need to worry about it not charging if the power goes out for some reason. Sometimes I have an outlet in my garage that's controlled by a little switch, and sometimes people go and turn it off or turn it on, and that happened to me before. But with this, you don't really have to worry about it. If they turn it back on, it's gonna remember and keep charging. I've had a lot of different battery chargers, and a lot of them are really bulky, but also a lot of them have a lot of buttons. And I'm always kind of confused going through all the 3 different buttons and all the different modes for each button. With this one, you have 1 button, and the only other things you do with that button is hold it down 5 times for force charge, or 3 seconds for the 6-volt. Super simple, super easy, and super compact. So even the kiddos, if they have a little 4-wheeler, I grew up with 4-wheelers and dirt bikes. Dirt bikes don't have batteries, but the 4-wheelers did. I always had to have my dad charge them for me because I always left the key on. So with this, it's super easy. You really can teach your kids something and they can get the work done on their own, and you don't have to do it for them, which is awesome. And I also really just like how small it is. I would just hang it up in my garage and then just undo the hook and loop and bring it whenever I needed to charge something outside of my garage. And I just really like that. It's very compact, nice little case, and it's basically enabling you to do charging however you really want. In my opinion, I like this one the best just because for how small it is, it does have the most amount of amp output, which I really like that. But that's basically it. We do have smaller ones, we do have bigger ones, but I think this one's perfect. That just goes right in the middle. And that's basically it for a look at the NOCO Genius 5 amp hour charger.